of dollars globally every month. We won't tell your Bundes. We won't tell your Reichstag. We won't tell your parliament. We won't tell your Congress where the money went. How big is this to have Merkel come out and say, quote, Goldman Sachs and the banks are treacherous and engineered this? I mean, that's a quote.
And that's right. And she's terrified that they're going to lose the election, which I think is tomorrow in North Rhine-Westphalia, which is northwest Germany. And, it's economic survival because she approved the German participation in the bailout, and 63% of Germans were against it. And incidentally, from its very inception of the euro, 69% of men and 71% of women have not wanted the euro in Germany. And what's happened there, and if you remember, we talked about this, and I brought it up 4 or 5 months ago, and I said they're going for it. And they're going to use Greece down the line. There's about 19 in total countries that are ready to go under, which Gerald just talked about at the end of his conversation before I get on the air. And they wanted to bring them all down together and devalue and then get rid of the debt between one another multilaterally. And that's not going to happen the way they wanted it to now. What's going to happen is everything's going askew. The Greeks stood up on their hind legs and said, hey, we're not going to take it anymore. And they're going to keep on demonstrating until the government backs off. Now, I was interviewed on Athens International, BBC Worldwide, French Worldwide, Deutsche Welle, 3 weeks ago. And then last week I was on with the largest newspaper in Greece. And they said to me, what should we do? And the people don't think they're responsible. I said, well, legally they are because they put these people in office. I said they're going to have to work their way through it. Either that or change their system. And so if they don't offer you a good deal, that is the Eurozone or the EU, then what you do is default to the debt, leave the euro and go back to the drachma and live happily ever after. No matter which way you cut it, you're going to have a depression for the next 5 or 10 years. So get used to it.
That is exactly what I told National Greek Radio yesterday and a month ago. And the Greek radio stations I've been on several, all said that people are aware of this radio show and what we're doing and what you're doing, and that the Greek people are actually listening to us and understand what's happening. And they've been told in austerity, you will give us at least half your pension funds just in round one, money they invested. And then, why are the bankers so arrogant? We have the head of the IMF in the Washington Post 2 weeks ago saying the good times are over. That's a quote. We're going to take everything you got. Why are they so arrogant?
Papandreou is a Bilderberger. And I brought that out in my interviews, both of them. In fact, the lady, Helena Skopas, who interviewed me for the radio interview, she said, I don't know whether they'll put this on the air, but they did. And so that's why. Because you get one of the members of the Rat Pack who's running the country.
Stay there, Bob. We got a bunch of questions from Twitter and phone calls for you straight ahead. They'll take us in informative directions. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
In March, Alex Jones announced that eFoods Direct was putting together a high-volume, pre-production order of the new Quick Fix meals. By waiting for production and shipping of their orders, families were able to receive one free item for every 3 that they bought. Since the final shutdown of this buy 3, get 1 free program, we've had a lot of folks calling, disappointed that they missed the order deadline. Listen carefully. Starting immediately, eFoodsDirect.com will take pre-production orders for a buy 3, get 1 free program for 1 week ending May 14th at midnight. You will receive 1 free item for every 3 that you order of the selected products. These orders will begin shipping the first week of June. To order on the web, eFoodsDirect.com/Alex or call 800-409-5633. That's eFoodsDirect.com/Alex. 800-409-5633. Again, that's eFoodsDirect.com/Alex. 800-409-5633.
Let me tell you a little bit about one of our great sponsors, HomeGain.com. This is the place to get you started buying or selling a home. finding a realtor and getting any real estate questions answered. Go to homegain.com and see what I'm talking about. All you need to do is type in your home address and you will get an instant free estimate of your home's value online. This is a great way to be able to monitor the value of your home. And again, it's absolutely free. There are tons of tools to help you. For instance, if you want to remodel your home, go to homegain.com. Use their home sale maximizer to help you determine which home improvements can most increase your home's value before you put it on the market. For 10 years, these folks have been helping home sellers and buyers. Visit their link at Infowars.com. Look for Max, the orange home gain gorilla, to help you with any real estate needs you might have. You'll love this site. It's homegain.com. HOMEGAIN.com. Check them out today.
They helped to create a new world order.
We are part of a new world order.
A new world order based upon collective action.
Invisible Empire is a damning indictment of the globalists through their own words and documents.
The new world order really is a tool for addressing a new world of possibilities.
It means all the world under their control.
The United Nations would take over America. The Trilateral Commission would control the world.
Invisible Empire chronicles how men of power and influence have worked in stealth for centuries to establish an oppressive world government.
I believe, first of all, that we now need nothing short of a world constitution for the global financial system.
Global governance with the establishment of the G20.
So it's going to be an inner ruling elite and then everyone else. And I got news for you. You're everyone else.
Invisible Empire. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com, or watch it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv. Bob Chapman is our guest. We're going to be taking your phone calls and asking him your Twitter questions. He'll be with us 20 minutes into the next hour. Then we'll get into all the other news. Continue with your phone calls coming up in about 50 minutes from now when Bob leaves us. TheInternationalForecaster.com is his excellent website. Before I get into questions from the listeners and phone calls, I want to get into the gold market. But before we do that, Bob Chapman, specifically for those that don't understand, and again, this has even been on CNBC, but only here and there, these special computer trading programs that only Goldman Sachs and a few other of the big six banks have, they're black boxes that can siphon off billions every week, literally theft. They bring the suckers in. They're telling them, get back into the market. Europe is plunging. This is all being done by design, but I agree with you. It's getting out of control in Iceland, in Greece, in Spain, in Portugal, in England. The people are saying, we're not doing this. The Americans are behind the curve in waking up, but they're starting to wake up. Explain to people again what the President's Open Market Committee is, what the Plunge Protection Team is, and the unbelievable power this gives the fractional reserve banking cartel. Not only can they create trillions of made-up assets for themselves and crap derivatives and certify them, but they also rig the market. Explain how big a deal that is and where gold should really be right now if they weren't in there trying to suppress it.
Well, first of all, the algorithms that are used are computer programs. And those programs are used in a combination with the computer in the New York Stock Exchange. And the closer you are to the NYSE computer, the more access and the quicker access that you have to the orders coming through, and they come through in nanoseconds. And so what these characters like Goldman does, and there's 17 of them, so the 17 computers, one after the other, lined up, and you pay a certain fee to the stock exchange to go in there and front-run the orders is actually what they're doing. Of course, the SEC won't tell you that, and they won't stop it because it's a big profit center because they're stealing from other institutions as well as the public. And so they use these formulas, and they go into the computer because they get the information first, and then they either buy or sell in relation to the order that's coming through. And they don't make much money, a quarter of a penny, a half a penny, a penny. And at the end of the day, it's only $8 million. At the end of the week, it's $1 billion that they've stolen. And so that's what that's all about. And they continue to let it happen, just like derivatives. No control. I mean, the SEC might just as well not even be there.
Okay.
And the same thing with the CFTC.
And, of course, the CFTC, all these groups are almost completely commanded by J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and the other big four banks alumni, but Goldman Sachs is the key group. Now, you've worked at all levels of this, Bob. I know we don't know how they did it, but we know it was rigged, and even CNBC is saying that, and it wasn't a fat finger. But how, I mean, we know they rigged it through the plunge